With the 65th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Carson Beck, quarterback, Miami. Welcome, bro.
Oh, Yammer.
All right, this was kind of a gutsy pick here, don't you say, from an Arizona perspective? More of a why not? Let's see what you got.
So Bucky talked about this yesterday, and I want to get your opinion on it, Bucky. You talked about you have to kind of watch players, quarterbacks. We talked about with Fernando Mendoza. Go back and watch some Cal tape. How do they do from one place to the next place? Carson Beck was the rage, all the rage before 2024 Georgia. Yes. Had a disappointing Georgia junior season, went to Miami and played substantially better, seemed more grown up. Just seemed like he matured. When you see that as an evaluator, what do you do with things like that?
Oh, look, I really like it and I love it because he went to a new environment, and anyone who knows the U in Miami, he had to go down there and learn how to be a leader amongst a bunch of dogs. They weren't going to just give him the QB1 spot and anoint him the captain without him showing them that he had that competitive part to his game. I like that. I like the fact that when he played at Georgia, remember, in the SEC championship game, he tore his arm out of socket and went back in there to help them win the championship game. He's played at a high level at times, but I'm going to say this. He is a high-end game manager, meaning that you're going to need to have the stuff around him. And there have been a lot of quarterbacks that have been successful in that. Think Kirk Cousins. Think about him in that vein. He can win and be successful, but you just got to have the right supporting cast around him. And you would think Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, you have Jeremiah Love, you have some other things around
the second
him.
Pick that they made.
He should be able to be successful.
Yeah, let's go. AFC West champs. Hey, on behalf of the Super Bowl 50 champions and the best owners in football, the Penner family, with the 66th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Tyler Onyedim, D-tackle, Texas A&M. Let's go, Bronco country!
Big fan.
You like him? Why?
Yeah, big fan. Well, so he's kind of one of these hybrid interior defenders who I think fits well in an old school odd front because he's got rush. Like, I know you see like 2.5 sacks there, but he's a very athletic tackle. He knows how to use his hands well. He knows how to disengage from blocks. He's just a player that I think you can throw into multiple alignments. You can throw him at 4-eye, 5-3 technique. You can, I probably wouldn't throw him to one technique very often, but Onyedim is just a player that I feel like really understands how to beat blocks. And he needs to get a little bit bigger. I'd like to see him weigh about 6 to 8 more pounds. He's not a real bulky player. That's also part of the allure, is that he's got some quickness that makes it hard to block him.
With the 67th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Raiders select Kron Crawford, defensive end, Auburn. Welcome to the Raiders.
Trying to help out this defense. You can see some of the numbers there. Third team all SEC. A couple of years ago, he was at Arkansas State, had a career high 5.5 sacks.
Yeah, started football his senior year of high school. So he's still in the developmental phases. And he's a former basketball player. The basketball athleticism is absolutely there. And I talked to a member of their staff, their personnel staff, who used to be in the NFL, and he told me, Lance, this is a guy who everyone's going to talk about Keldrick Falk, but you better watch out for Crawford because Crawford has a pathway that is going to ascend faster than anyone expects because all the traits are there. And so when it comes together for him, he's still learning. When it comes together, it's going to pop very, very quickly.
With the 68th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Markeel Bell, tackle from Miami.
Here we go, big fella. 6'9", 346.
Yeah, it gets guys blocked. So it won't always look like, anytime you're dealing with a 6'9" tackle, it's not always going to be pretty because it's such a high center of gravity. They don't change direction as quickly. Sometimes you have those smaller rushers who can bend and get around them, and it's harder to get down there and redirect. But for the most part, the more you watch, sometimes you can't get involved in the aesthetics with an offensive tackle. sometimes you just have to be like, is he getting guys blocked? And Markeel Bell gets people blocked. And so when you're looking for this and you want all this pretty and this pretty, at the end of the day you say, but how many times does his guy get to the quarterback, or how many times does his player get to the running back? He gets guys blocked. He does a nice job, and it's a position. Let's face it, it's an important position. The tackle market is really shrinking up. We got Caleb Tieran, we got Austin Barber. It's about to, and we've actually got a run on tackles that will happen in this run. We've got about 4 or 5 that are going to go, and then it's done.
Markeel Bell plays like the way I used to do math in high school. Like they always wanted me to show the work, and I couldn't do it, but I would get the answer right. And so that's what he is. It's not always pretty. The technique's not always there, but he finds a way to get it done. And my team's like, hey, you can't be doing this guess and check stuff. But it worked for me.
With the 69th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select
Sam Roush.
Sam Roush, wide tight end, body beautiful. This is the way you want your wide tight ends to look, just minus the 30 3/4 inch arms. It just doesn't make sense on his body type. You can't even really tell. He's got very short arms for being 6'6", but he is a really good run blocker at the point of attack. I know we'll show him making some catches, but the reason he's being drafted here by the Bears, and the reason he's going to be a long time starter, at least when you're going to 12, you'll see it right here. Yeah. When they go to 12, is that he can really get guys blocked. Like, he is terrific at the point of the attack. His hands are good all the time. He plays with a wide base. He blocks like an offensive lineman. He blocks like somebody who's a technically savvy center or guard who's been taught the right technique, and he plays with the right technique. He's got very good strength, and he can go give you the little zone beaters, right? The little dump off 6-yard catches, 7-yard catches. So he's not going to pile up. This is not a fantasy football tight end. You guys can take this pick off fantasy football, because that's not what Sam Roush is going to be.
Meanwhile, here are the Niners.
With the 70th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Romelo Height, defensive end, Texas Tech.
David Bailey. This is the other guy on the other side. And he is a menace, too. Skinny. So the one thing that kind of stands out when you watch him, he looks very thin, but he is so slippery. He is so unorthodox at the top of the rush that guys just have a hard time staying connected to him, tackles, because he just can disappear his hips, can disappear his shoulders, and it's just tough because he just won't give you a static target to punch, and that's one of the things. He's got a nice little spin move too. He's just a menace. Now the problem is going to be that he has a difficult time against the run because he's only 239 pounds. So he's more of a DPR, we call it designated pass rusher. But what he does well, and that's get after the pocket.
Man, that dip and rip move is going to be problematic for people, and you're right. As the league continues to evolve, where we're seeing more sub packages and personnel, DPRs are going to find their ways onto the field.
Hello, Pittsburgh. How are you tonight? First and foremost, to an amazing town, sports town, and fans, Pittsburgh, thank you for being a great host of the 2026 draft. You guys are amazing. As much as I am into introducing our next pick, I want to say this first and foremost. Tomorrow, I get a great opportunity for you, Pittsburgh, to pass the torch to myself and my fellow crew in Washington, D.C. for next year's 2026-27 NFL Draft on the Mall in Washington, D.C. Washington, the sports capital. Got some information earlier today. The girls' flag football became an officially sanctioned high school varsity sport in Maryland, paving the way, creating more access and opportunity for your female athletes across the region. Thank you, Josh Harris and the Commander organization, for making this possible. It'll also be great for my granddaughters, Malaya, Merrick, and Macy Grace, for their opportunities that come with them. Thank you so much. For girls flag football, a high school sanctioned event in Maryland. Thank you so much. And now it is a great honor with the 71st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Sonny Styles was a character person, a great football player. He's going to be one of the top football players for our organization for years to come. Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders, I want to say we select. We don't go defense for this pick, we go offense. Antonio Williams, wide receiver, University of Clemson. Thank you, Pittsburgh, and good luck to all the clubs.
It's a hell of an intro right there for Antonio Williams, the kid out of Clemson, an all-ACC performer a couple seasons ago, and then last year, third-team all-conference.
Yeah, good, Buck.
No, look, this is someone in the slot. I love it, man. I had wide receiver coaches tell me, hey, this is one to keep an eye on in the slot in terms of his ability to get open. He can play. He kind of has some gadget game to him in terms of being able to do screens and swings and bubbles and all those things. Super competitive and feisty in terms of being able to take it down. And then just being able to take it with fly sweeps and those things. He does a lot. He's not going to put up these big averages, but he's going to be a chain mover. I like the pick for the Washington Commanders.
With the 72nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Takario Davis, cornerback, Washington.
Well, I was a fan. I don't know about you, Buck, but I don't mind the taller cornerbacks provided they're playing in the right scheme. I think Takario Davis is an old school cover three. You know, you want him to play quarters, cover three, but he's got tremendous range, as you can see here. When he's in the open field, he can really run. He tested extremely well, ran a 4.4 140. So in the open field, he can blaze. Not the greatest run defender, run supporter, but that's not why he was drafted here. He was drafted here to play outside and allow Dax Hill to move inside, more than likely, which is a more natural position for him.
Yeah, more natural position for him, but this is a guy that is very competitive on the perimeter.
With the 73rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Oscar Delp, tight end, Georgia.
Tight end 6?
Look, you always talk about his 5 stars coming out. He was a 5-star coming out of high school.
Yeah, and look, there's something too, like later in the draft, you should always go back and check the high school rankings and just see who it is. Because look, I found that more times than not, those guys that earn all those stars, the talent is there. In this play, when we talk about the run on tight ends, we're seeing more and more teams kind of react to the way the Rams were using 13 personnel. More teams want to stockpile tight ends to create more mismatch opportunities, flexibility. He is someone that's really, really interesting. You see the athleticism, you see playmaking ability. Didn't work out at the combine, but man, the talent is certainly there.
Oh, meanwhile, Mike G got us covered. No other trade here. The G-men moving up. We'll find out exactly who the Giants are going to select. It's been a really nice draft right now for New York. Arvell Reese, Francis Mauigoa, and then Colton Hood in round number 2, filling needs across the board for the Giants.
With the 74th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Malachi Fields, wide receiver, Notre Dame.
So this was one of those names, guys, that I was sitting here looking at Lance's big board. Buck, you've name-checked him multiple times on Mock Draft Live, just kind of throwing his name out there. They needed a wide receiver. There was some speculation maybe they could have gone in that direction in the first round. The Giants didn't. They find their guy, and they move up to go and get him. Look at that grab. Hello.
Look, man, he's one of my favorite wide receivers in this class, and the reason why I fell in love with him is because I think he is a true X receiver. He is a big body that can go on the perimeter. He can win those one-on-one matchups. People are talking about the speed, but what I will say is consistently he dominates those contested catches. Acrobatic, being able to catch it in space, a tremendous weapon down in the red zone. And the thing that you're looking for, consistent production over time, whether at UVA, during his time at Virginia, or at Notre Dame. he consistently won and won and won, and I think he's going to win for the New York Giants. 3rd round pick, but look for him to outplay his draft status when he gets into the pros.
Yeah, he's not fast. I mean, he's 4'6", he plays like it. You see, he'll be contested down the field. He doesn't seem to mind because he's so big and is so good when the ball's in the air. I mean, he's a natural basketball type of player when the ball's above the rim. I just think wide receivers who have a natural talent for beating you to the rebound, they play in the NFL. And I think Malachi Fields will as well. The 4'6" is the only reason we're seeing him in the 3rd round and not the 2nd.
With the 75th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Caleb Douglas, wide receiver, Texas Tech. Go Dolphins.
Yo, Maloney.
Back picks here, but Caleb Douglas out of Texas Tech, another Tech guy, so that is now the 3rd wide receiver in the last 5 selections.
Yeah, we're beginning to get to that run. So it's funny how we saw early in the 2nd round, we saw the defensive tackles go, then we saw the tight ends begin to make their play, and now this is the mark where we can see a bunch of wide receivers and probably some DBs go. And when we think about Caleb Douglas, a guy that can stretch the field, make plays down the field, they push it. We saw a very talented Texas Tech team light up scoreboards all over the Big 12. He played a big part in that, being able to put the ball in the paint, doing it back-to-back seasons with 6+ touchdowns. He's a factor. 3rd round, you're looking at Miami. They're throwing darts, trying to find wide receivers that can find a way to get it done. He's one of those guys.
That quarterback spot, a little bit hard sometimes in terms of roster construction, so we'll find out what Miami's going to look like over the next couple campaigns. You can see the terrible towels starting to swirl in Pittsburgh. This one should get a loud cheer. It is pick 76. Poor family in the house for this one, firing up the crowd.
Steelers Nation, how we doing? We in the building, man. We here. Man, it's an honor, it's a blessing. I'm glad to be here with all y'all.
Let's go, Steeler Nation. With the 76th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Drew Allar, Penn State quarterback. Let's go!
Aaron Rodgers on line 1, anyone?
Nah, not quite on line 1, but if you dig in Mike McCarthy's history, he is a quarterback developer. He always loves to have a young quarterback to mess with, to tinker with. And Drew Allar, polarizing prospect, yes, but someone who has a ton of prototypical traits that would make Mike McCarthy intrigued to work with him. When I watched him at Penn State, you can see the things. Remember, 2 seasons ago, Penn State's on the precipice of being a team that goes to the national championship game until a bad interception that kind of ended the drive. But
James Franklin no longer there. Just throw that out there, too.
He showed some promise. He has the ability to make some plays, and this is one where Mike McCarthy wants to get in the lab. He wants to see if he can find a way to really unlock all of the talent that he possesses. He's been maddenly inconsistent, but man, the traits are the traits. And if you're going to throw a dart, you throw a dart at someone who has the physical tools to eventually be able to get it done.
So what I like is that he's played in a vertical passing attack at Penn State, so that kind of fits the type of receivers he had. Well, he has DK Metcalf, then he's got a possession receiver with Pittman right now, which is nice. The ball comes out so effortlessly. He really has great arm talent, and he's got the ability to dime it into any type of windows when he's throwing accurately. And I think this is almost a reclamation project, and I say that with respect to what he's capable of doing. You really have to build up his mechanics. You got to build up Drew Allar's, not just his mechanics, but also his poise. You got to build up his confidence so that he can get back to playing, the football of getting through progressions, staying confident to make the throws he needs to, being able to think the game out on the field. I think he's been too reactive to what the defense is doing, too reactive to pressure, and it's caused him to have issues with footwork, with technique. It's things that have really hampered his not only decision making but also his accuracy. So this is really a chance to take all those traits that Bucky talked about, which he's absolutely right, but then rebuild him from the ground floor up so that he can he can play to those traits.
Think about the mobility too. This is a guy that wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football. The last couple campaigns or so. Packers, we got another trade here. 84 and 160. Mike Garafolo's got it for us, and the Buccaneers trade 77. So it is Green Bay that is currently on the clock right now with the 77th overall pick.
With the 77th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Chris Mlen, defensive tackle, Missouri.
Chris Mlen came over to Missouri, very active in the middle. This has been a defensive line that's been cranking out pros.
Yeah.
Missouri we're getting used to seeing pros come out of there, and Chris Mlen is next up. What I like about Chris Mlen, one of the things that I like is that when he plays quickly off blocks, when he's not sitting on blocks, when he wants to get off blocks quickly and go make plays, that's when he's at his best. I don't think he's really a two-gapping read-react player. I think I want him attacking blocks and playing fast with his hands. And it's really just a matter of thinking that I want to be fast every snap. I want to be fast into the block. I want to be fast out of the block. He's got enormous hands, just enormous hands to help control blockers as well. So there's some physical traits that I like here. For me, this is really just about filling the need, which is some rotational value at defensive tackle.
I like the Colts more. I also like with the 78th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Indianapolis Colts select AJ Hulsey, DB out of LSU.
Okay.
See you at the Super Bowl, bums.
So, Chris Ballard.
Hold on. I told you to take a minute before we find out who the pick was. I wasn't wrong.
See you in the Super Bowl, bums. Did you hear him?
Oh, nice comparison.
You hear him?
Collins?
So Chris Ballard on the back end covets production, ball production. AJ Hulsey has 8 interceptions and 20 passes defensed over the last 2 years as a safety. That's pretty serious. He is a physical hitter. Look how thick and well put together he is. I mean, he will smack you. This is one of my favorite safeties. He is a second-round safety, in my opinion. He's got great instincts. You see, that's a great example right there. He doesn't play the routes. He's aware of the routes, but he's playing the quarterback. And so that's one of the reasons he gets great jumps. He's looking for clues from the quarterbacks, not just the eyes, but also the hands, the arms, the ball pat. And it's why he's on the ball all the time. And that kind of stuff is going to translate in the NFL as well. That's why his ball production is going to follow him, in my opinion.
You're pretty fired up when you heard his name.
He's dog.
He is.
D-A-W-G. He's going to knock the taste out your mouth, but he also will pick out the pass.
Here we go with the Atlanta Falcons and the 79th pick.
Hey, I hear y'all out there. ATL, what's up, baby? We still here. All right, we're going to keep this thing rolling. With the 79th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select, I guess we're going to keep it red and black. Zachariah Branch, wide receiver from Georgia. Rise up, baby.
All right, you guys called it. You said, hey, in this round, we're going to see a little bit of a mini run of wide receivers. There's a burst that's happening. What's separating some of these guys?
Beep, beep. This dude can go. He has that go-go speed. You can see it. He did it first at USC, then at Georgia. And I'm going to say this. The route tree is limited because he ran a bunch of bubble screens. I think 51% of his production came off bubble screens and those things. But when he has the ball in his hands, he plays at another gear.
Look at this.
And as I'm thinking about this offense and what they want to do, Kevin Stefanski trying to find some easy completions to bank in for his quarterbacks. Remember, Michael Penix is one, but really Tua Tagovailoa. And you think about what they did in Miami with Tua. Ball came out, quick rhythm, RPOs, bubble screens, trying to recreate some of the things they did with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill with Zachariah Branch coming on.
He's got like crazy speed. He is extremely fast. I think one of the things that hurt him was exactly what Bucky talked about. They just used him as like, look, we're just going to dump and run. So he didn't really get to show off what he could do from a full route tree standpoint. I just know this with Tua. That is a great point about Tua. throwing little slants. He did it at Alabama too, and at Miami. You get fast guys, you let them throw slants and a bunch of catch and run stuff. And I know they're looking for a vertical threat. Now he can, he's just not a big vertical guy, but they wanted a vertical threat. They wanted somebody who could take the top off or who could, hit big plays. And he's explosive, and you just have to dump down and let him go.
But with the 80th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Jacobe Lane, wide receiver, USC. Flock Nation, let's go!
So we just heard the Falcons take Branch, who played at USC. Lane was his teammate at USC for a couple seasons there, and now all of a sudden you're adding to a wide receiver room down in Baltimore.
You are adding to it, and when you watch him in the red zone, he finds a way to get it done. Talk about playing basketball on grass with the wild catches. He does that. Now, he's an oozer when it comes to the speed and quickness, doesn't really burst out and do those things. But this is what he does. There's a highlight reel littered with a bunch of big-time catches, that toughness in traffic. He makes it happen. And when I think about the Baltimore Ravens and what they traditionally have tried to do with Lamar Jackson is expand the strike zone, find ways for him to get easy completions. Sometimes that's with a big body on the perimeter. Other times that's with a speedster kind of coming down the scene. This is the big body that you like on these critical situations.
I don't love him from the 20 to the 20, but then once we're in the red zone, my gosh, he's elite. Like every catch you're going to see is going, except for that one, is like highlight reel catches. He has unbelievable hands. He makes one-hand catches that are ridiculous in the end zone.
With the 81st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Albert Regis, defensive tackle, Texas A&M.
Just referenced him, CD, a little bit earlier. We saw his teammate go off the board. It's kind of like twins in this draft, right? There's two of everything at every school. Regis has got real quick feet. He's the undersized defensive tackle at A&M. He's one who plays with that leverage, gets underneath guys because of that shorter stature, and you see how thick he is in the lower half. He's able to use that for power, and then he can shoot some gaps as well with that quickness. Not the biggest guy at that position. He's just under 6'2", 295. He's got a little bit shorter arms, but someone who, you see him, he flashes when you watch the tape.
By the way, even with the short arms and the short stature, 10 PBUs at the line of scrimmage. He would constantly get his hands up, get his hands on the football.
With the 82nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dominique Orange, nose tackle, Iowa State.
Look, you hit him with the nickname.
Hey, look, he's a first-round pick based on his nickname, Big Citrus.
I like it.
Big Citrus. I wonder if he came up with that all on his own, if someone else said that for him.
Someone's got to come up with that one.
Look, if you've got acid reflux, you do not like Big Citrus. If you've got a weak center, you also do not like Big Citrus. He's very physical at the point of attack. He is a read-react two-gapper who can, right as you saw right there, he got rid of Logan Jones there, who just got drafted, in the second round. Just got rid of him quickly, made a play there against Iowa and their offensive line. He's just. What he does is if he needs to hold the point of attack and kind of eat up gaps, he can do that. But I like the fact that he's just not a one-way type of player. He's got a little bit of one gap there. It's not quick, it's not fast, but he knows how to get to the edge and cause some problems.
With the 83rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, once again, your reigning NFC South champs, Carolina Panthers select Chris Brazzle, the second, wide receiver, Tennessee.
It's another wide receiver now officially off the board.
This is nice. Yeah. This is nice. And when I think about Brazzle, I'm looking for a vertical playmaker. He has that, man. He runs by people. He is fast. He's long. He's athletic. Needs to continue to work on the route tree, but, man, he can take the top off the defense. You saw it early in his career when he was at Tulane, making big plays, and then later when he has his opportunity at Tennessee, he is running past fools time after time after time. I look at this offense and the Carolina Panthers and what they want to create. They were able to get a receiver in the third round that can give them that value as a deep ball specialist to open it up for T-Mac and some of the other playmakers, Xavier Legette and others that they have working up underneath.
I tell you what, he is, so he's got a battle against, he's a Tennessee Z, right? So right now, Tennessee is having to prove, he's going to have to prove that.
Oh, he can run routes.
Yeah, I think so too. Just because he has vertical speed doesn't mean that he's just a limited route tree player. He's tall, he's fast, but he's good also at making adjustments down the field. So being able to track deep balls is a skill, and some guys just don't have it. Because when you track it, you can make adjustments quicker and you can win those deep balls. And that's what really separates them. But you won't see most of these corners, unless it's underthrown like there, you're just not going to catch them.
Fire them cannons! Welcome to the draft here in Pittsburgh. Thank you, Pittsburgh fans, for being the host of this tremendous draft. I'd like to thank the late Malcolm Glazer and the Glazer family for providing me with the opportunity to broadcast not just one, but 2 Super Bowl championships. Super Bowl 37, Super Bowl 55. And to all Buccaneer fans worldwide, touchdown Tampa Bay. Speaking of touchdowns, Tampa Bay, with the 84th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Ted Hurst, wide receiver, Georgia State.
Oh, here we go. 15th wide receiver now that we have heard their name called. Hurst is a guy that you've been talking about during the Mock Draft Live season here. They had an embarrassment of riches in that wide receiver room, and all of a sudden, because of injuries, they're kind of now reloading, especially with Mike Evans gone.
Yeah, they reload, but how about this, man? You talk about having a model. Mike Evans goes out the door. You go and get someone who can do similar things to Mike Evans. Not saying he can do it at that level, but, man, he flashes some of that Mike Evans in his game. Can take the top off the defense. He's a good guy, vertical threat. Down in the red zone, he's going to make it happen. You see it time and time again. He was one of the stars at the Senior Bowl. There's a lot of buzz about Ted Hurst. Excited to see what he's able to do. Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin. What kind of role can he create for himself down there?
I think this guy's going to be a steal. Ted Hurst can run a lot of different routes. For being a tall, linear wide receiver, he's got a more expansive route tree, the ability to run a more expansive route tree because of his short area quickness and footwork. A lot of times, he can hit the long strides when he needs to open it up, but he's really good in terms of being able to run. And right here, look at that.
Oh, that was a lefty slam. Oh, beat that.
Slap it. And you see, and this is what,
man, who them little kids?
You know who else a good basketball player in college? In high school is Mike Evans.
Yeah, he was.
Down in Galveston, he was a really good basketball player as well. So what you've got is just new casting. They just casted a new character for the same type of.
Galveston, that's what.
I got to hear you with this pick. With the 85th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the 6-time Super Bowl winners, soon to be 7. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Dalon Everett, defensive back, Georgia.
I like it. I mean, Cam's already calling his shot. They got a new quarterback. Drew Allar's going to lead him to a Super Bowl and everything.
Yeah, it all sounds good. Start lining up and playing. But I do like the player, Dalon Everett. Dalon Everett come through, and as the Pittsburgh Steelers are continuing to find their way, remember Patrick Graham takes over this defense. They want high IQ players. They want physical players that can tackle on the perimeter. And overall, they got to have toughness. You can play in Pittsburgh, you got to be a tough guy. Got a Yinzer back in charge, and Mike McCarthy. Dalon Everett fits the bill, and I love that he played for Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is tough on those guys. Bloody Tuesday is a big thing. He is not going to be afraid of the physicality that is demanded when you play for the Steelers.
No, he's a high football character player. 41 games started for Kirby, and one of the things that I remember talking to Kirby Smart, one of the things that stands out in talking to their general manager, he just said, Lance, this is a guy who you're going to love him as a person.
Cleveland's done. It's actually pretty impressive.
With the 86th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Austin Barber, tackle, Florida.
So this is about to start a run on tackles. So you're about to see that. I'm just calling it right now. Austin Barber is played left tackle at Florida, can play left side or right side. there's some games. He's a little, you see him right there, a little just gave you a little nasty at the end of that one. So he's got a little attitude, which you love. He's a pretty good athlete. He's got good it's just the tape can be a little bit uneven, but when he flashes starting caliber tape. And here in the third round, what you're looking for is a potential swing tackle. You know, you just drafted Fano, so you got Fano on the left side that you're going to push the left side. You'll have Titus Howard, who you traded for, on the right side, and you have Austin Barber now, who can swing, and he can play left tackle, he can play right tackle. If someone gets hurt, he has the potential to step in and be a solid starter for you as well. You know, it's also a little bit of, I think, what they're doing here is they're saying, let's get this as an insurance policy, because what if we want to play Fano at some point down at center? Or what if we want to play him at guard? We might have our future left tackle, Austin Barber, on the roster too. So,
with the 87th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Miami Dolphins select Will Casmic, tight end, Ohio State.
Someone explained this to me. We kept saying that this was not a great tight end class. We saw one in the first round, 7 today, guys.
See, but I don't know why that was ever a thought. I like the tight ends.
Yeah, it's a deep tight end class.
I like the tight ends, and we haven't even got to some Drew Warrior, Dalton Bentley. There's some other tight ends that are still hanging out there. But Casmic, another guy. We talk about Ohio State having 2 guys that have been drafted on day 2. Just a plethora, just a wealth of riches in terms of being able to find these guys down the middle. He can work down the middle, catch it down the seam. Just another talented player. Tight end class standing up. Really impressive.
Big Y. They want him to kind of knock people around there.
It is actually now the 8th Ohio State Buckeye that we have heard their name called so far.
With the 88th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Jacksonville Jaguars select Emanuel Pregnon, guard from Oregon.
Bucky, I'll let you take this. You got to be happy to go get that body moving.
Oh yeah, we look. Talk about trying to change some of the attitude on that line. He's a body blow, body snatcher at the point of attack. He gonna make sure it happens. You just watch this guy. He is physical all the time. He is throwing dudes out of the club because they're not dress code compliant. He does a really good job of shadow boxing at the point of attack in the passing game. Just a really solid player. You just see him get there. He is a big addition to this front. I know it's a 3rd round pick, but he's gonna have a chance to really get in the mix early in his career.
I had him as my 44th ranked guard, and honestly, I didn't think there's much of a difference between him and Basantis and Rutledge. You see there over 600 pounds.
Little safe squat right there. Little safe squat. Oh, that's for real though.
With the 89th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Xavian Thomas, wide receiver, LSU. Go Bears!
So it's another wide receiver, guys, off the board. We are 1 away from tying the record in the first 3 rounds. The 16th wideout who has had his name called. We actually saw this dude down in Dallas, East West Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, putting it down. You just talk about just being able to kind of get in the mix and do some things. And right now, where we're at, we talk about having what is the redeeming trait? What is the thing that can separate you from others? Speed, burst, quickness.
Is it that?
Yeah, 4.28. That is a way to get on the field.
Not slow.
He is blazer. It is not refined. It's not polished. But in the return game, then the speed and the quickness, it shows up. When we're throwing darts, and you think about Ben Johnson, this offense, they're always trying to find edges. That speed is going to, he's going to find a way to get on the field.
He's got 3 touchdowns in special teams. He's got 2 kick returns and a punt return. And guess what's a big deal in the NFL again? Kick returns. This is a special team selection because the Chicago Bears say we want to have a weapon on special teams as well. And he's a 4.28 40 guy. Of course, we know Chicago Bears have been able to pick some pretty good special teams returners in the past. So that's what this is about.
With the 90th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Kalon Black, running back, Indiana.
So this is just the 3rd running back, guys, who's been selected. We had 2 in the first round. Black here in round number 3, and keep in mind this is a guy who didn't even get a combine invite.
No, Roman Hemby, his teammate, did. Black and Hemby kind of run the same way. Like, he's real tight hip, so you see his kind of short strides that he's got. But he is, when he gets it into the interior, into the mud, it's really, really tough to get him down because he keeps the feet moving. He's got great balance, very strong base. I just tend to trust San Francisco when it comes to finding running backs. They don't always keep them for a long time, but they have a real feel for finding running backs in that system.
Yeah, they know they're tight, man. They know the one-cut runner, putting them in that system, and they find a way to have success.
With the 91st pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Trey Zoom III, guard, Texas A&M.
All right, so it's another A&M player, and we got some help for Fernando Mendoza up front. We like this?
Yeah, I mean, I like him fine. He played left tackle at Texas A&M most of the time, but also can play some guard, took some snaps at guard, and then he ended up playing center as well. Right here, you see him down the field making a play at center. That's a position that that a lot of people think he will ultimately play in the NFL. But right now, he's not going to be a tackle in the NFL. Might be able to get you out in a pinch. But he's got guard center combination, so he's got guard center flexibility. Can either start at center or can become a starting guard. Might be a starter this year. Will certainly compete for time this year. Maybe it takes until next year, but a smart player, position flexible player, and then he brings that pass protection that he learned from left tackle inside to help protect Fernando Mendoza.
All right. How about them Steelers? All right. With the 92nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.
2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Shaquan Barber.
Jan Barham.
So, Arvell Reese is not the only linebacker turned pass rusher in this draft. Also, Jan Barham from Michigan is another one. He can play off ball. He can go rush off the edge. I think he'll be an off ball pass rusher, but you just never know how. I can tell you this, look at who the team was. Dallas has done this before with Micah Parsons. They're going to try to replicate it here with Barham. If not replicate it, they're hoping to get some similar, some pass rush at least. I don't want to say similar results. Micah Parsons, unbelievable elite. But Barham is an explosive athlete. He is a player who is just learning to rush the passer right now. He can play linebacker if you need him to. I think that might be where you want to start him off until he becomes a more accomplished rusher. Maybe you let him go from off-ball linebacker and just in pass rush situations you drop him down on, let him stand up or put a hand in the ground and go get the quarterback on third downs. But right now you're betting on the upside of Barham with his athleticism and, of course, his rush.
With the 93rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the LA Rams select Keegan Tackle, tackle from Missouri. Welcome to the family, brother.
So he's the guy I was telling you about earlier with Zion Young. He's the one who had to do battle against the physicality of Zion Young. He played, as you can see, he is a 42-game starter, a 51-game starter, which you have more. This is going to be one of the last times we see that many starts. Well, I shouldn't say that because I think we're going to see more and more players playing 5 years. But 51-game starter, extremely experienced. He is a very tough run blocker. He's extremely disciplined and mentally tough. He's got the ability to play tackle, or some teams like him bouncing down potentially inside the guard as well. So the Rams clearly view him as a tackle. It's a big need that they have at right tackle. But I just want to mention that I think the way he plays the game and his build, I think he could end up sliding inside and playing some guard as well.
With the 94th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Chris Bell, wide receiver, Louisville.
Guys, this is an explosive guy. I spent some time with Chris Bell last summer. Focused. He was anticipating getting ready for the NFL. only issue was a torn ACL.
There are some, but who believe that he would have been one of the top 3 wide receivers in this draft had he not torn the ACL.
Man, when you look at the clips, you just see a guy that really reminds me of AJ Brown. He is big, physical, kind of built different when you're like 6 foot and 220 pounds, but he runs through contact. You can see the yak, the playmaking ability. He just get off of me when guys are trying to get on him. The physicality stands out. And if you're the Miami Dolphins and you're looking to really retool and reshape that wide receiver room, you got a big old physical guy that you can lean on in the passing game in Chris Bell.
We all know why I'm here. Ain't that right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Listen, I apologize to my Pittsburgh fans that I had to wait in the back. Thank you guys for being patient. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Yeah, we appreciate you guys too. I'm here to announce the greatest organization's 95th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The greatest organization select Eli Raridon, tight end, Notre Dame.
So as I was not supposed to say, yeah. Point is, this is another tight end, boys, off the board.
Yeah, typical Notre Dame tight end. He's going to have a certain build, right? So he's a big body tight end who can block. He's got good technique, good blocker. He's a pretty good pass catcher too. Was a good tester. 4.6 240, 36-inch vertical jump. Good 3-cone time that shows his short area quickness. But the thing that I like about him most is that he's really a combination tight end in my estimation, because he is accomplished as a blocker technically. See him right here. He's got a little.
Oh, go ahead and push that thing on.
Okay.
Push that thing on. A little swag on him.
Yeah,
yeah, a little swag on him.
Trying to be a little Cooper Flag-esque.
Oh yeah.
Dual sport.
Talk to him. Oh, take that
range, Bucky.
Okay.
He can shoot from range.
You reach, I teach. I see it.
Hey. He doesn't necessarily have Hurst explosiveness.
Oh no, but that's okay. He's banging that thing in there.
I wonder if he stays healthier than KD.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Look, that's a lot of dunks.
He stays healthier than KD too. He's actually playing.
All right, now, when I said 6-time going on 7, I didn't hear y'all get loud enough. So y'all gotta be loud when I do this, all right? With the 96th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the 6-time, soon to be 7-time Super Bowl champions, select Jennings Dunker, guard, Iowa. Big dog, let's go.
We're going to have some video here of Jennings Dunker. So if you watch Game of Thrones,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what the wildlings look like?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this guy's a wildling.
Oh, yeah, you
Played
can see
right
it.
tackle.
You can see it.
Mauler with a mullet. That's so true. He's got the big flowing red locks. He was a starting right tackle for the Joe Moore Award, winning the top offensive line in college football, Iowa Hawkeyes. You're going to see him at tackle. He's going to be a guard in the NFL. He's listed as a guard. He can be a little bit mechanical, though, a little bit segmented as a mover. You like to see the fluidity. He's a little bit more segmented. So what he's going to have to do is really get used to, get used to playing with the hands and feet together in unison. That's what he's going to have to do instead of, the upper body and the lower body don't quite work together all the time. But what we know he has is a tremendous amount of power. He is a very physical player at the point of attack. He wants to play physically. I think it's going to help playing inside at guard, where he's a more compact area of space that he will be able to block instead of playing out in space where he's not really that kind. And look at, oh my
There
God.
it is.
There it is.
The flow.
There it is.
No, you see Trevor Lawrence all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna like this better.
Yeah, nice. That's nice. That mullet right there is flying. Flowy.
Vikings, back-to-back picks. They're on the clock.
Wow.
With the 97th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Tieran, tackle, Northwestern.
Good pick. Caleb Tieran, I thought, would be a second-round tackle. He's a little bit short arms. Might have got him here. But he is just a really rock-solid tackle in terms of his run blocking, his pass protection. I think he's got a chance. You look at him, and why it makes sense, Brian O'Neill's in the last year of his contract. He's been a very good right tackle for them over the years, but you got to start drafting eventual replacements. You're sitting here in the third round. A quality tackle, and Caleb Tieran out of Northwestern is sitting on the board. Boy, I like this pick right here from Minnesota. He's a good football player.
Really good football player. He was one of those guys that I anticipated coming off the board in the second round. And for the Minnesota Vikings to be able to get him, not only does it upgrade the depth as a swing tackle, but he has the opportunity to eventually be a long-term starter at one of those positions.
With the 98th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Jacobe Thomas, defensive back, Miami.
All right, so they're going safety here. I'm not sure what to make of the Vikings draft so far. It feels like in a couple years we'll look back and say, hey, like we got some guys that are starters for us.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. The guy had 5 interceptions, and people are talking about Jeff Hafley's defense down in Miami being a vision and break defense where they really prioritize the eyes and the ball skills of the defensive backs, particularly the safeties. And there you see a guy had 5 interceptions, very active around it, but also being able to trigger when you need to show up and run support. And you talk about being able to blitz off the edge. The funny thing is, Jacobe Thomas comes off the board before Keontae Scott.
It's crazy.
We had a lot of buzz coming into this draft. It is just an interesting thing when we get to draft week, and we talk so much about these guys, and you see some things that surprise you.
Bad. With the 99th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the world champs Seattle Seahawks select Julian Neil, DB, Arkansas. Let's go, 12s. Let's go. Go Hawks.
Spent some time at Fresno too, so it's Price in round number 1, it's Bud Clark, the safety, in round number 2, and now it's a corner in Julian Neil.
Yeah, Julian Neal's got great size, was a great tester as well, so that's going to be something that you look at who you're dealing with here is John Schneider. He's got a type when it comes to cornerbacks, came from that old Packer tree, so there's a certain understanding of what he wants his cornerbacks to look like, and it's been good to him. Julian Neal is 6'1", closer to 6'2", 203 pounds, ran a 4.49 40, long arms, explosive. I think right now what you have with Julian Neal is you've got all the traits in the world. You're just trying to get a little bit more consistency from a coverage standpoint, but he's a late blooming 5th-year cornerback, so in terms of his quality of play on a consistent basis.
Final pick in the 3rd round. With the 100th pick in 2026 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jaylen Husky, defensive back from Maryland.
Husky. So we're going to the safeties now is what we're doing in Maryland. So Husky is another one who I think when Maryland has been cranking out some pretty good DBs as well here lately. Husky's going a little earlier than I expected. He's a player with pretty good ball skills, pretty good instincts. He is a very aggressive defender, really flows hard with the quarterback's eyes. So he's constantly looking to read and react quickly, and you'll see great range here to go out and make tackles in the open field. That's one of the things that I think they're going to like, as well as the range and the ability to tackle in the open field. But Husky's also got the chance to impact the special teams. And a lot of times when you're the back end of the 3rd, and certainly tomorrow when we're all here for our mega day on day 3, you want to find guys that can play special teams if you're a safety, corner, linebacker,